Elevated Grapes Podcast.
Elevated Grapes Podcast.
With your host, Sethi.
Your host, Sethi.
And Stylist Rashi Bindra.
It's time to get started.
Let's talk fashion, shall we?
We have
all right, guys. So
Dave as well.
whoever's there, and if you're listening right now, and if
He
you can
loves
hear
you
us,
too. There you go.
can you please let us know by commenting that you can hear us?
Yes, they have sent hearts. They love you, and they can hear you.
All right, so that means we can get started.
Yes.
It's about that time.
Oh, dear God.
That's it, guys. Welcome to the second edition, live Elevated Grapes Podcast. And today we're actually at a really cool location.
Yes, we are.
We're on site.
I know, it's so cool.
This is really cool. So we're at the very well-known, if you're from Toronto and you've been around the block, you've heard of CC Lounge.
I think also if you're not from Toronto and you've been here even for like 6 months, you end up hearing about CC Lounge.
Yeah, guaranteed. So it's in the old part of Toronto. Really cool spot, right across one of the first Flatiron buildings.
See, I didn't know that because I'm not from here here originally, but I just love the spot.
Yes, they have one in New York. They got one here, and this is literally right across the street from it. Really close to the distillery district, which is iconic.
That I know.
So these guys, they're an actual prohibition bar, and they actually have a hidden tunnel
Really?
at the back of the building.
Wait, so can we go and like explore that after?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to the owner to give us a private tour so we can take a look at
That
the
is
hidden
so
tunnel
cool.
that's in the CC Lounge.
So freaking cool.
Yeah, and we were going through their menu, well, because obviously we're going to have a drink when we're hanging out here, but we're going through their menu, and they have, I think, like, I don't know how many hundreds of whiskeys and then bourbons and
I
then
think
different types of scotch.
we lost count. We had to ask for like recommendations.
Yeah, I got the old grandfather.
Well, since you like to act like you're one, there you go. It suits you.
Hey, listen, it's a grandfather's drink. It's neat. There's no ice. There's no soda. There's no water.
I'm proud of you for that.
That's it.
I
And
feel I have to be proud of you for that.
you should be proud of me for everything I do.
Let's not push it.
Okay. So the other thing that they have in here is they have a whiskey tasting room. So you go in there, and then they'll give you a couple of different whiskey tasting opportunities based on whatever you're choosing, or you know what you want to pair it with, or whatever. So again, really cool opportunity if you're doing that. They have a whiskey connoisseur / expert in house.
Yes. And
Yeah.
he's so sweet.
Super nice. We've been talking. We're gonna probably have him on a show and do a whiskey and cigar show.
I think if we want people to see that, they should comment. They should like let us know that's what they want, and we'll like make it happen. So we make magic happen. In case you haven't realized that, so whatever you guys want, just like let us know.
Yes, if you're listening right now, whether you're watching us live on Instagram, or you're listening on Spotify, or iTunes, or TuneIn, or Google Music, because we're on all those places now, or if you're watching us on YouTube, let us know if you want us to do a whiskey tasting based episode. Based on understanding different types of whiskeys, bourbons, and cigars, and what pairs well together, we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
Cool. So
Cool.
that's CC Lounge. Thank you for having us, and thank you for allowing us to use the space today for our podcast. We are live here, so if you're in downtown, come by and say hi. Although I'm not making it a late night, so if you come by and say hi, I might dip a little bit early. So
Yeah, we're not partying it up tonight
No.
for sure. No.
fair enough.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's move into the
Let's talk about
Podcast.
your face.
where do you want to start? Because there's a lot to talk about.
That's also true. But your beard today looks exceptionally well groomed. And I mean, I do not know if this fortunately or unfortunately I spent way too much time with you, but
Yeah,
you actually look
that's actually for your benefit.
sure. You actually look on point today. Like your face looks on point.
I also took a shower this morning.
That also helps. But
No, but I got these guys. It's called the Vedas, and they have a beard balm and they have beard oil. So I've been using it for the last little bit. They were kind enough to gift it over. You can check them out online. So it's the Vedas, VEDDAS. I don't know if you can see it on the screen over there. I'm
I
gonna
don't think they can see.
step
but
away
we'll
from the
like,
mic for a second and let them see it.
Yeah. Okay, don't like blind them.
And they also have a beard oil. So yeah, so I've been using this in conjunction, and it's actually really nice. Like, it's not. There's some beard oils that I've used in the past that are very overbearing, and it gets very shiny. So this, I mean, it has a little bit of that shine, which is nice, but it's not like your
It's not.
face
No,
is
exactly. It's not too
glowing,
much.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like your face today looks good.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's only today.
Again, don't push it. So yeah.
Okay. So thanks for the Vedas for hooking that up. But like I said, I've been using it quite regularly. And I'm really happy with the product. So I will, they gifted this one, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to become a regular customer of theirs now and end up buying it, which worked for them, I guess.
Yeah, I did.
It makes sense,
Well,
right?
she did. You got a compliment from me too. So
So we also got an opportunity to be featured on another a
Podcast?
Toronto podcasters podcast just on the week, and it's going to be airing soon.
Mhm.
But we got that opportunity, and it was through a contact of yours, Rashi. So talk about that a little bit and how that kind of felt being on someone else's podcast versus something of our own.
I don't know. It felt kind of weird. I think like it was good, and I'm happy that we had that
Yeah,
opportunity
she's really
and
cool.
stuff like that. And Dee's awesome, and
Yeah.
she's very talented, and she's very artistic, and like her dress that we saw last Thursday at the red carpet event that we went to
Yeah.
was amazing. I don't know how I felt though. Maybe about some of the questions. I don't know.
Well,
Or
Well,
maybe
okay,
I'm
what-
just very
what in
private
specific?
about certain things. Maybe that's why.
I'm gonna sip on my whiskey
Grand-
for this question. What was the question?
I don't know. I think I wasn't. I felt way too much emphasis went on you and me versus what we do, and I think that sometimes has started to annoy me when people ask that. Like we're two people doing all this fun stuff, and it should just be left to that. So
Yeah, I think that's a good way to answer it.
so yeah,
Fun stuff.
sure. But
Okay.
my point is, I that's the part I wasn't like too crazy about maybe because it was just like overemphasized. But
Yeah, for me that was okay. Like we touched on that a little bit in the beginning, and then we got into really about our story
Yeah.
and what we're trying to pursue with Elevated Grapes, what the end goal is, how we plan on reaching that end goal, which I thought was really cool to get into because it was
Absolutely.
almost like an exploratory session for us live versus us, having a meeting and sitting down and talking about it and hashing it out because we've been talking about, we need to get together every so often and okay, where are we now? Where do we want to be? Have we reached our previous goals and objectives and are we reaching the things that we want to reach? And it was kind of a cool way to do that live without it being thought about, right?
Yeah, and what's like what was really good about that, we've never really done an interview about ourselves outside of what we create.
Yeah, other
So
than you and me interviewing each other, which we do on all of our videos for some reason.
or we just like our conversations like almost every day
Yeah.
is exactly that. So it was very interesting being on somebody else's podcast and having those interview type questions, and us not like you know being 100% synced on our answers. Like it was just very
Right.
like what was like in
Because
our
we,
heads.
we,
when
we
came.
didn't agree on a lot. I mean, our answers did not come out in sync a lot of times. It was a lot of times what you had mentioned. I was like, well, no, that's not exactly what I'm thinking. And for us,
Yeah.
that's how our conversations would go through, even if we're doing a planning session.
Like your video today with that music.
Yeah, yeah. So Nav, who's our video guy, and he's sort of behind the scenes right now, put together a video for one of my other projects, and Rashi was like, I love the edit, but she's like,
I
what
hate the
heck,
music.
What the heck is this music? It wasn't Nav's choice. The music was
Thank
my
God.
choice. So Nav didn't. That's what she loved the edit, but she's like, "What is this music about?"
The edit was phenomenal, and I'm very, very picky about that. And then I'm seeing this beautiful piece of work, and then I'm seeing this like, music, and I'm like, what am I like 12, like
Are
15?
you judging my ability to choose music? Because that's what I do.
I
I
support
might walk
that.
out of the podcast at this minute.
I support that, and you know that. I'm just saying, for that particular beautiful
So-
video, that music was just a horrible choice.
We were at an event that was it
Very
was a
classy.
It was a charity gala, and this was the after party. So we have an edit coming out for the charity gala fashion show component, which is elegant, classy, and I wanted to play the role of the after party. And so the after party was a bit more upbeat. It was about
It was upbeat. It wasn't ratchet.
the song was not ratchet.
No, but the song makes you think of like a club in the beach or something, and like people grinding over each other. People at the after party was.
I'm gonna
still
post a
things.
link in my stories a little
Yeah.
bit later to this video, and so my handle is at YOUR Host Sethi. I want you to look it up. I'm gonna post stories to the link if you're watching this live right now, right after we're done. And I want you to go on there and take a look and comment and tell me if you think it's ratchet or if it's legitimately good for a after party.
And just as a disclaimer, all his other music stuff,
I see a comment on there saying someone saying you do you.
yes,
Thank you.
He does do himself, trust me. But just to like 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 make everybody well known, I do support all his music stuff as well.
She does.
And I
I'm also
actually
just putting her on the spot.
but he also knows I'm very blunt and very picky about a lot of things. And I just did not feel that music with that video. That's it. That's my only thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Topic finished. Agree to disagree. I thought it was the perfect choice. Okay, so I want to actually get into a topic because one of the things that you and I actually this was decided earlier today
Yes.
because originally what we had decided to talk about on this podcast was to do with Jennifer Lopez and her award and her fashion sense, which we're going to get into because there's a lot to talk about there.
She looks stunning.
We're going to talk about some men's summer basics and building a men's summer wardrobe.
casual.
Yeah, on the casual side.
You know.
And earlier today we were discussing, and I said, you know what? I want to talk about the Raptors and the best dress in the NBA Finals. And then Rashi's response was
LOL.
after which she agreed. So and then one of our really close friends mentioned that she has a lot of experience working with the NBA, so we asked her to chime in. So hopefully she's
Claudia,
watching.
if you're listening, I do hope that you will give your comments on this, which I cannot see you at the moment live, but I do hope that you're here. Yeah.
So what we're going to actually do, so we've actually posted a lot of this stuff right on our Facebook channel.
Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments. Yes, so just just backtracking. Well, we do not screw people. That's not who we are. We do it. You do you. Yes, you do you. I'll do myself.
100%.
But as a team, we do support each other, and that's how we grow. For those who's laughing, like yay, and okay, some more hearts we got. Amazing, and yes, he has a nice face. I
Thank
do
you
agree
for all
with
those
that.
wonderful comments.
Mhm.
And also, before we continue, I just want to put a couple of pieces of information out there. If you're listening to this after it was recorded live, so whether it's on Spotify or iTunes or Google Play or YouTube or wherever streaming site you're using, anything that we reference in terms of a picture or content or a link will be all posted on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/elevated grapes. You can grab all the content there. So we're going to reference a couple of pictures. So if you are listening and you want to take a look to what we're talking about, go to our Facebook page, and it's chronologically ordered. So it will be by the date. So today's date is June the
4th.
4th or 5th?
4th.
4th. Yeah. So it's on June the 4th. So you'll be able to see some of the photos that we're referring to in our conversation. So with that in mind, we're going to get into the best dressed in the NBA Finals. Now, first of all, congratulations to the Raptors for making it this far. This
Yes.
is amazing.
That is actually really, really amazing.
So big shouts out to the Raptors. Big shouts out to everybody in Toronto because the fan love for what's going on with the Raptors right now
It's
is
huge.
insane.
It's huge.
Like it's literally crazy. Like everybody is just unified. The streets are live. Every venue you go to is showing the Raptors game, whether it's a restaurant or it's a bar or it's any kind of place. They're showing it. It's a lot of fun right now. Did you attend any one of the events or games or anything?
I was watching it and I was following it, surprisingly, even though I'm not a sports person. It did remind me of my Montreal days when stuff like that would happen. So it was really great to see that in the city.
So are you trying to say that you're a Montreal fan versus a Toronto fan for anything, any sports?
Habs. Sorry, I'm still from Montreal. I still have a 514 number. Continue about the best dressed.
So Nav, our video guy, is shaking his head behind the camera right now. If you're listening on any one of our streaming sites
Hey,
after the
I'm
fact,
still all for the Raptors.
you're more
okay?
than welcome to comment on Rashi's Habs.
I
love.
am still all for the Raptors.
All right.
Let us continue forward.
Okay, so continuing on past the Raptors, past the Habs, to the Raptors. So we're going to talk a little bit about the best dressed in the NBA Finals, and I have a few picks. I showed you a couple of them, but I'm going to go through them. So again, any one of these pictures. Last time we tried to show them on the screen, and there was a bit of a glare, so we're not going to do that. They're on our Facebook page.
They're like now. So
it's
as
live,
we're
it's
like
there.
talking about it, just go on it and look
Yeah,
at
so
it.
if you have a computer or an iPad or anything else in front of you, just jump on and you can take a look at the pictures we're talking about. So this guy, you see him around all the time, but Serge Ibaka, for me, is probably the
I
best
do
dressed.
like what he's wearing.
The best
He
dressed
looks really, really good.
on the Toronto Raptors. He's always got that cool cool, funky hat gear. His blazers are on point, like they're fresh, they're designed, they're cut well, they fit him. And he doesn't do the typical like, I'm gonna taper my pants and make them perfect. Like he always does something funky with his pants, even though they're tapered, they may be a little bit shorter, but they're shorter to a length that suits his body style and suits his height. Because you got to be really careful with that when you're sort of tapering and shortening your pants. So Serge Ibaka for me is on the Raptors side the best dressed.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about a couple others, and I'm gonna flip through a couple of pictures I have here.
I'll let
Danny Green.
someone-
So our good boy, Mr. Green. You know what? I like that he has that. I'm gonna put.
He has a cool factor about him.
I'm gonna put something funky into my into my outfit.
Yes.
So he may do like a really cool casual blazer, but his pants are funky, and he's these like socks, but they're not.
Yeah.
The socks again are not. They're not just sort of hidden, so you see them randomly if his pant leg lifts up. It's like his pant leg tucked into it, but it flows with his outfit.
Exactly. So I actually like that. In fact, we have a picture of him somewhere, and I think
it's on our Facebook
It's on our
page.
Facebook. He has this really cool funky blazer with those shoes, and I
Yes.
saw it, and I was just like,
I love
oh
that
my
style.
god, this is how men should try and dress.
So Danny Green for me is in my list a second. I just love Serge Ibaka's style.
And I
Danny
see
Green's is
that with
incredible.
and seeing your style, I do
You can
understand
see
that.
yeah.
I can.
But mad love for Danny Green because that's just awesome. Kyle Lowry I like because he plays it cool. It really for me his dress sense is his personality. Like there's no I'm gonna try to do something different. I'm gonna try to do this and try to look a certain way. He fits his dress sense, and his dress sense fits his personality. Like it just flows with who he is.
Right.
So I've seen that in a few different outfits of his when he sort of like when they show him like as they're walking behind the scenes before they come out onto the court and that sort of thing. His style is just for me it works. We have one of the pictures on our Facebook page, so you can
Yes,
take a
we
look
do.
at that. It's a really cool beige bomber with just a pair of jeans and just the way he's worked it and rocked it with his boots. It works well for me.
Sometimes classic is the best way to go,
Yeah.
and if it suits your personality, you can still rock it and carry it off and still be like best dressed. Yeah.
Well, to me, and we talked about this in our last podcast, having those classics and basics is the most important thing in your closet. Even if you want to have a funky side or try
Yeah.
to be creative and add some cool creative pieces to your wardrobe as a guy, but the classics, if having those will always make you like you'll flow in your work.
It shouldn't look like you're trying too hard. The minute it
Absolutely.
looks like you're trying too hard, that's exactly what you're
You can
doing,
tell.
and you feel and look uncomfortable, and that
That's
kind
you'll
of
feel uncomfortable, which speaks
But
out.
what guys do not realize is that other people, especially women, we can like pick up on it. It's like, okay, like what's wrong with this dude? Like why is he trying so hard? Like chill.
Because I think the energy changes.
Yeah, it does absolutely.
So Kawhi Leonard, the star on the Raptors right
Yes.
now, the all star around the world at this point. They say that a lot of these basketball stars they the guy carries a team, but Kawhi Leonard at this point is carrying the country. Like the whole country's behind the Raptors and behind Kawhi Leonard. So there's a way also for me that where you can dress casually and still look like $1 million. And I think Kawhi Leonard hits that nail on the head. Like the way he rocks his joggers with his
Yeah.
sneakers and the tops that he wears, like they have this cool factor to them. It's not. I mean, like obviously part of it is his personality because he's kind of quiet and suave. But
again, it's going back to that, right?
Yeah.
It's going back to your personality. It's like his look is very effortlessly cool.
Yeah.
It's like I woke up and decided to wear joggers and a sweatshirt and I decided to walk
and
out.
the joggers just flow. And I think some of the things that we're hitting on with some of these styles is they're all very different, but they all speak to the person's personality. And I
Yeah.
think that's what's so important in fashion is understanding your personality. It's not just about what's the latest trend or how are people dressing. It's how does your personality come out in wearing that kind of outfit or that
Yeah.
that sort of wardrobe. So Kawhi Leonard I think hits it on the nail on the head with that. There's another one I have a picture of here of Kyle Lowry, and he just rocks this suit. And usually, like big window pane prints are a challenge to rock. There's some of my friends that I've told that they should never wear them ever in their life as a whole suit. But we have a picture of here where Kyle Lowry rocks that. So kudos to him. A couple more pictures of Serge Ibaka here. So now, we'll give some credit on the other side to the Warriors because there's a couple of guys that I like how they dress there, and I'm not a fan of them right now because they're impacting our team. But so Draymond Green on the Warriors, usually for the most part, every time I see him, he's just rocking a really cool outfit.
Like well dressed.
Yeah, very well dressed. He
Very well
dresses like a
dressed.
gentleman. He rocks it well and he carries it. Like But like, there's a picture we put on our Facebook page where he's wearing like this really nice two-piece double-breasted suit, but he's rocking it with the headphones. So he's got that casual factor with his elegant look. So again, big window panes, but it suits his.
But it suits him.
It suits his
exactly.
personality because he's also like he's a muscular guy. His build is
He's big.
It's a broader build, so it
yeah.
works with him. And then this guy, I'm not a fan of him because of last game, but Iguodala, I think because he's got that 3-pointer that rocked us a little bit in the last game.
But
so
let's focus on the style.
his
Let's focus
casual
on the
dress
style.
sense is so nice.
But you know what? That like
It's
that's
very
something.
Queen. It's very Queen Street for Toronto people. It's very Queen Street.
But that's also something you'd wear yourself and walk because you've done it.
Yeah, I've worn a very similar outfit.
Right. So
I was about to wear a hat like that today for the podcast, but I chose not to. But yeah, but again, it's a cool style that you can see his personality come out. So I think that, these pictures are on our Facebook page. You can take a look at them. But again, the point is that I think, a lot of these guys they're dressing, but it fits their personalities, and I think
And
that's the
that's
biggest
key.
piece because they're all so uniquely different from each other.
Mhm.
Not one picture on our Facebook page
It's same.
that we've talked about in
It's
terms
like
of the best
similar.
dress.
No.
They're all different.
Right.
So that's that on the NBA. So we have
Side
a
of
couple of
things.
pictures. So let's
Yeah.
jump into back into the what we wanted to chat about today before we got into the NBA conversation, and that is the queen that is J-Lo.
The queen of fashion is officially Jennifer Lopez. I mean, she won the 2019 fashion icon awards yesterday from CFDA. That's like huge. And I'm sorry, for someone who's pushing 50, that woman looks so good. I woke up today and made sure that I started like working out again. Mind you, I did have fries, but besides that, like I've been on a strict, watching what I eat again all over. Like she looks phenomenal.
So tell us a little bit more about the CFDA, because that's a lot of people may not understand what that is. I'm also
basically
going to get up for a
the-
second because our recording is a little bit loud, so I'm going to adjust that
Sure.
as you talk.
That's basically like the Grammys of fashion, and there have been some really great brands and names that do get recognized for their style. And this goes back to, and I think this a lot of stylists would understand this. When you're working on someone's brand and someone's look, it's not just for an event. It's not just, for that photo shoot. Their brand becomes part of your life every single day. And it's all about those tiny, tiny details. So with JLo, I mean, if you really, really follow her and if you really look at the way she dresses, from her nails to her eyeshadow to her shoes to her dress, she's on point. And if she has to change 4 times a day, her nails are changed 4 times a day. Like she's that detailed oriented, and that
That
speaks
sounds
a
like
lot
a lot
about her
of
team.
work.
But it's showing. How do you
Yeah,
see
no,
how she
absolutely.
looks?
Yeah, absolutely. We posted a couple of pictures of her on our Facebook as well.
And I think for her, the whole fashion trend changed with the iconic Versace dress in 2000. 2000
We have,
at
we
the
have, a, pic-
Grammys.
we have a picture of it, right?
Yes, it's the green Versace
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
dress.
That one is the dress that will I
That
think
changed
will
the
forever
world.
be memorable.
You know what? It was actually because of that dress, Google created Google Images, because the world was trying to find an image, because up till that point, no one wrought something so daring at the Grammys, and then she shows up, bearing it all, making sure, and that's how we also all learned about tape.
Yeah, that like when I first saw that dress, my first question is,
How's it all holding?
how is it staying together?
Right?
Because it pretty much like, I mean, unless it's painted on, that's impossible.
Yeah, but that is that's how so much things changed in fashion. And when I first saw that, I was with my parents, and they were like, "What is this? What is she wearing?"
I think yeah, I think I showed my mom, my sister, like everyone in my family just loved it. Like they were just like, this is such, because it's sexy, it's edgy, but it's classy edgy.
Exactly, and that's what even now, if you look at that dress, it is so classy, so beautiful. And you need someone with like that much confidence to rock it, and that goes back to our topic about your personality being able to carry, stuff like that. And but seriously, that was the dress, that image. That's how we got Google Images. So thank you, JLo, for that as well.
Thank you from JLo for hooking up Google with images, and thank you for putting your image on there. It's eye candy every single day.
Most searched image ever.
Really, eh?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
even till today.
So let's actually go and talk about
What
the
she wore last
the
night.
outfit for when she won that award.
So she's dressed by Ralph
Lauren, yeah.
Yeah, she's dressed by Ralph Lauren.
So I mean, obviously she gets like any designer she wants.
Mm-hmm.
She's J-Lo at the end of the day.
Yes, queen of fashion.
Queen of fashion. So she was rocking this outfit made by Ralph Lauren, which I compared to an Indian lehenga a little bit because it has a similar flow, but
It does.
there's a lot of differences.
Yes, I mean it is a crop top and it's a long flowy skirt.
Yes.
Yes, which is essentially what an Indian lehenga is.
Yes.
But what I love about this and the fact that that's what you thought of right away just shows also how much the two worlds are like coming.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, I mean, there's clear influences from
and
that world.
But that's changing now, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. Like 10 years ago, this would not happen.
Yeah.
It would not happen.
It would not at all. Exactly.
Right. So and the color, like
The color, I think, is what grabbed it, right?
yeah.
But again,
she's
it
stunning.
goes back to a designer or a stylist understanding who they're dressing because
Yeah.
like J-Lo's skin tone, her body figure, like a lot of people wouldn't be able to pull off that color.
No.
Right? Like I was designing, I started designing, I was styling a fellow host, and he had brought to me something very similar in terms of color. It was an orange brown, and it was a whole
Mhm.
suit. Right? It was cut very well. It was a very nicely done suit. But just on him, that with his skin tone and the colors that he wanted to put it together with, this same color on him just it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we ended up styling a couple of different ways to wear the blazer and a couple of different ways to wear the pants,
Mhm.
but probably not together. Just because the color's really nice, but
But
he had-
not for him.
it needed to tone down a little bit just so that when he wears it, it works for him. But almost very similar color.
And that's why red carpet styling, and that is something I have been blessed to touch upon is
Right.
is it's very difficult. It's not as easy as people think, and so when I see models or when I see influencers going by themselves and wearing an outfit and saying, oh, because I pulled it from this like designer, it works.
It's
I'm
gonna
like,
work, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but you know what? If your hair's done like this, if your lips are done like that, like for me, that's where everything plays at. So you
Right.
have red carpet styling is actually a lot more difficult than
Most people
fashion
think.
and
Yeah,
even personal styling because you are putting that entire look together. You're working with this person for a while. You have to know who they are.
And you got to learn about that really quickly if you're a stylist
Yeah.
who hasn't worked with them before.
Oh, absolutely. You have to live and breathe your clients.
Yeah,
You have
absolutely,
to.
absolutely.
So-
So speaking about red carpet,
Let's talk about your outfit.
we just recently attended a red carpet event. Let's touch on it real quick. Where we at time? Yeah, we got not too much time left, but
That's okay.
let's talk about that a little bit. Tell them first about the event that we went to.
Are we talking about Care Bear or are we
Well,
talking about
both, but we're
Kappa?
going to talk about Kappa because we're talking about the red carpet, and then we'll go into Care Bear.
So last Thursday, we had the privilege of attending CAFA, which is the Canadian Fashion Awards here, which is kind of like a big deal. It's like the Oscars of like Canada, and
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun
was a
running
really good night.
around, putting outfits together, and just styling us
Yeah,
and
it was a lot of
consulting
fun.
people was like very interesting.
So actually, we didn't put this picture on our Facebook, but
Which we will
we'll
after.
put it up
Mhm.
in the same group of pictures.
Your outfit for CAFA. Let's talk about that because people loved it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not being biased, and I know I give him a hard time, but that night, the hottest straight guy award goes to him. Like, he looked good.
I'll take that award. It feels really good. So I got to actually wear a
Rockin'
jacket,
Karma.
a Rockin' Karma jacket, which was really cool because it's something different than I've ever actually worn in the past. I've never outfitted like that before. So it was an oversized black denim jacket with writing on the back, and and it was
In sequences.
in sequences. Yeah, so really flashy on the back, pretty plain on the front. So my thought was, okay, how am I gonna style this because the back speaks for itself. If
Mhm.
you're walking away from someone, they're gonna see it and they're gonna notice it. So I'm like,
To
well, compete
overtake.
with the back.
Mhm.
So then I had this other T-shirt that had some large white print on it, would kind of match the back, but it was underneath the jacket, so it was a little bit hidden. Just black jeans, but I put on some maroon color shoes to pop the outfit because I was wearing black otherwise. But it was a lot of fun, and sorry, I had the fedora on.
Hat.
Yeah, the hat. But it was a lot of fun to rock that. It was a very different style for me too, not something that I've worn in the past. But I thought, I want to find a way to work this as a guy because an oversized jacket you gotta like for me it's mostly taller guys that will usually wear an oversized jacket, or usually women will usually wear an oversized jacket from what I've seen. So what are your thoughts?
So when we were coming up with your outfit for Kafa, and this I will also give a shout out to Janice
Absolutely.
from Fashion Foundry, because she was kind enough to help me find those items for you. But
Right.
in my head, I was like, yeah, we can do a blazer and your funky stuff, and I wasn't feeling it. But then the minute I was thinking about like Rock and Karma, and I was like, and this is where again you have to understand the person that you work with, right?
Right,
and
of course.
and that's what we have with each other, is that we do understand that. So I was like, yes, he is short, yes, it's an oversized jacket, but knowing your personality, can understand how you can rock it.
I'm not short. They're just tall.
Sure. And that's how we did it.
Yeah.
Which is why that night I think you got the most looks. Like there were women who were like this. They were talking to their like, husbands or boyfriends or like whatever, and they're very gorgeous women, and he'd walk by and this was what they got. And I'm a witness to that. And I was very proud.
I think they just wanted to see what was written on my back. But you touched on a really important point. Just overall, I do want to give a shout out to Janice.
Yes.
She's a big supporter of our initiative and our journey. She's Rashi's PR. She gives us a lot of direction. She gives Rashi obviously like they have that working relationship, but even over and above that, she does give us some direction and thoughts on things we can do.
She
So
does.
she's a big supporter, and a lot of the direction that we take is based on some of the suggestions from her. So Janice, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you,
Fashion
Janice.
Foundry, thank you so much. You will always be a part of our journey in any which way. So
Oh yeah, she will. She has to be. But so you wrought that outfit, which
Yeah.
which we will post, and
and
that
then your outfit. Let's talk about that for a second.
yeah, but this is a men's show.
I know, but we're gonna touch on your outfit because, holy moly,
Yes, you were a bit surprised.
yeah. Well, both that and the Care Bear one, like you just rocked it out.
It's really funny when he actually does get surprised when I look like a lady, like according to him. But
It happens
It's-
once in a while.
it's really fun.
We have to take her to more red carpet events.
Okay, with
So
the amount of work I do with you, I cannot do that.
Let's go into Care Bear a little bit. So
Thank
this
you.
picture is actually on our Facebook already. So this was actually really fun for both of us to dress. So your outfit, let's talk about that real quick. Who's that from?
Shelly O for
Yep.
Care Bear.
Yep.
I felt like Cinderella that night, and I think the dress itself was like a very modern day Cinderella. So I loved that outfit, and I think I got a lot of compliments that night. I have
You did.
to say.
Yeah, and you totally rocked that. It had this cool like
Twirl skirt.
sleeve tail thing. You use obviously as a on your hand as almost like a shawl, but that was really interesting. And then I got to wear a sequence bomber, which was a first for me, from Maddie's Fab Av. You can check him out on Instagram as well. We'll put all the credits in our description. And I put this. I was wearing. I was like, I had an idea because I was told it's gonna be a black sequence-ish blazer. So I brought a couple of things with me just to work it based on what it would fit like when I put it on. And my first thought was, what I'm wearing now in that picture, but a white button down with a bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
Because bow ties you don't really see with bombers. People usually rock that with your blazers or your tuxedo style outfits. And I'm like, if it's gonna be a bit of a more fashion type bomber that's gonna be
Yeah.
a bit more standout-ish, I'm gonna rock the bow tie with it and see if it works. And it did.
I think that look has been one of my favorite looks since I've met you.
Well, thank you. So yeah, that picture is on the on the Facebook. I'm changing that topic real quick.
Yes.
That picture's on the Facebook. So yeah, do take a look at those. We'll upload the one from
From
Kappa as well.
Kappa as well.
So okay, we got maybe about 15 minutes at the most. But
And we'll touch on some men's
so let's get into that.
styling, like some men's summer styling. 'Cause even though we are in June and you would think it's all shorts and t-shirts, it's still jackets.
Well,
happening.
you wake up in the morning, you're dressing for winter, and in the afternoon you're dressing for the beach, and then at night you're dressing for fall. So
Yeah.
I don't really know. I mean,
What to do?
the layer levels are
It's very
very
difficult.
tricky at this point. But yeah, there's a lot of layers. So let's go into a couple of topics. So we wanted to touch on a few different things. We want to touch on shoes. We want to touch on shorts and the length of shorts.
I think that might end up being our main focus tonight, is how men should wear shorts in the summer and with their like t-shirts and shoes. Because I find like either men don't know how to rock it or they do and they do it really, really well, but where do you find that balance?
Yeah.
So you're a guy.
So no, I want to. Well, I have my thoughts on this. As a female, what do you like, and what do you see, and what do you prefer?
I've never been a fan of men doing the whole short shorts thing. It's just
Define short shorts.
so shorts that are way above the knee, but it's like it like comes to your like thigh. So basically, it's what we saw at the spring summer collection. I think it was Gucci. I have to check that, and I do have that on my link. But we saw that on the runway for this year. It was like
This
the
year.
really short shorts, and for some reason, I wasn't feeling it. Like I liked men to wear shorts depending on your body type, of
Okay,
course.
so
A bit
I'm
above
gonna
the
stand
knee.
up. How short is short?
Like, do not wear like shorts like here.
Okay, so basically, where like the pocket ends, where the pocket ends, where the wallet sort of sits, or like if you're sitting having stuff in your pocket.
More or less. There's a bit of a height thing in there, but guys
You
like
talked a lot about my height today. Is there something you'd like to discuss with me about my height?
no.
Okay. So you want to get it out,
Insane.
air it out. Let's do this right here.
I accept you for the way you are.
I don't know if that's a compliment or a diss. So
it is a compliment, but
but this year we're seeing, if you look at any of the lookbooks, if you look at any of the the fashion designers, Gucci you mentioned is one, but a lot of them are doing
the short
the
shorts.
short shorts, and it's almost like a onesie short. I don't know if you've seen a bunch of those.
Or I've seen them like
I feel
layered.
like you're not saying anything. You're frozen.
Just like in my head, I'm seeing those like images, and it's like traumatizing me a little bit because I'm picturing men who are not models wearing stuff like that.
Okay, so
And-
we're gonna touch on that on 1 second. What is your thought about bathing suits at that same length?
No.
Are you gonna talk?
No.
Oh, the sounds of Rashi are now available live on iTunes.
No. No. Like no.
So
Like, no.
Nav is standing behind the camera. So Nav, when we edit this, I want like that piece just to go no. Like I want you to like quadruple drip. We got the thumbs up. We're gonna make it happen.
No. Oh dear God. Maybe.
I'm asking because I have a pair, and I've worn them many times.
So we're not going to the beach ever together with that pair or near poolside.
I've
just
gotten
letting you know.
compliments.
I'm also seeing your taste in women, so really, like, yeah.
This got real personal real quick. First we're talking about short shorts, and now we're talking about. Anyways,
no, okay, but my point is, most men in general, I do not see them rocking the shorts. I'm not a fan of that. Like even like bathing suits, even just like shorts with a t-shirt and like boat shoes, for example, I think that's really great. I think
boat
that's a
shoes
nice
are beautiful. I love boat shoes.
and I think men with style or just men in general, like they can carry that off. If you have a good pair of shorts, you know, and a light cotton t-shirt or even linen like button down, yes,
Mhm.
you can. By all means, you will be so sexy and so handsome and so cute. But
So okay, so let's
it's-
sorry, go ahead.
I just not a fan of the short shorts.
So I think that there is a time and place for them. I'm not so on the beach. If a guy's wearing a shorter mid thigh bathing suit short with the right body type, that can work. That's my opinion. Also, going back to body styles, the typical short that you want to probably have is just about knee length, not
Mhm.
below the knee, because
No, then
it-
it's
it's a weird capri and you look funny. Just please don't ever do it.
Yeah.
Also those dangly baggy cargo short
no.
things, please don't do those either.
You're not 15 or 12.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
even if
unless you are,
even if
then
you're
it's very
15 and
different.
12, you know,
Yeah,
if,
but I
if there's
mean,
parents listening and you have 15-year-old kids, please don't do it. There's nothing wrong with a side pocket on a short, but it has to be the way the short fits.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, a typical, you want to play it safe, keep it at about knee length, not below, not too much
No.
higher. You know, just where the knee sort of starts. We have a picture on our Facebook that kind of shows you that. But so now I can speak as a shorter guy. As a shorter guy, if you have a pair of shorts that are, you know, give or take maybe an inch, I would say max, not even an inch, probably less than an inch and a half above the knee, it actually works to your favor. Who's commenting and what are they saying?
Our video guy now told me he'll be wearing super short shorts to every podcast. Okay,
Perfect. With
wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Dear
Can you
God.
make sure that they have pink polka dots and flamingos on them, please? Thank you. Um, so I want the shorts for me. Like if it's a shorter gentleman, slightly above the knee is actually okay because
Yeah.
it gives you a little bit of height, and if you're a taller guy, it can also work. It's just more like it's the thicker body style, or if you're not sort of like the slender, the slim fit. Even a muscular guy with a short to me doesn't necessarily look right. I think for that it's
And
got to be the knee length short.
right.
So I think it's really understanding the body type to see the short style that will fit.
And and frankly speaking, like you, for example, wearing a short, jokes aside, with the right top, could probably carry it off. Probably being the key word.
I can
But
trust me.
we will post images of that at some point. I have a
I
feeling.
actually have some. I can show you some, and I'm
Okay.
not afraid to show them because there's nothing wrong with them.
Um, but again, that goes, and again, without hitting your height too much, it again
Yeah.
goes with your body type
Yeah,
and
I
your
agree.
height.
I
Now,
agree.
a tall guy, like a guy who's like 6'1", for example, wearing short shorts may not necessarily
It may
be
not flow.
that attractive,
Exactly.
right? And that's what I'm trying to say. In general, if you look at an average man's height, short shorts is a hit or a miss.
Yeah. So I think there's I don't discount short shorts. I think that there's a time and a place for them, and I think that there's a body type for them. And again, the different there's different lengths of short shorts, so you got to be really be careful. But in general speaking, yes, if you're not sure about it, don't rock the short
Yeah,
unless
don't.
unless you consult with someone who knows what they're doing, because it may not be a good look for you. If you have someone that you can speak to about it and get some
Or us.
opinions, yeah, please send us pictures. We'll give you our honest opinion. No strings attached. Be like, hey, that looks great on you. Wear it to the office, or hey, that looks terrible on you. Don't even wear it to the washroom. Like, we'll tell you what we feel, and we won't hold back. I promise you. So let's move on from the short.
Yes.
Shoes, I think, are a big topic for summer, and I think understanding shoes during summer is really important. So I'm gonna let you as a lady start first and give your thoughts on what you like.
What's your thoughts on men in sandals?
Like flip flops or
No,
the
not flip flops, but because those I think I actually liked flip flops on guys, depending how the rest of the thing works. I think they look really adorable.
I think flip
So
flops are great in the summer with
yeah,
the right outfit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like they actually look very adorable.
Like if you have a pair of like, um, not the fleece joggers, but if you're wearing like those light cotton style joggers that sort of taper down really hard at the
Mm.
bottom, you can rock a pair of flip flops with those
Oh yeah,
easily and totally rock
easily.
it. And again, certain shorts. But anyway, you were talking about regular sandals, like the strapped sandals.
Yeah.
Please don't ever buy them if you're a guy. Ever. And if you buy them and you have them, please cover
Throw them
them with
out.
a shoe or wear your socks over them
Oh, that's
because you'll probably
amazing.
still look better.
Just don't buy
Because
them.
guaranteed, if you have those sandals, you also probably have those dangly, long, the capri kind of shorts with the strings hanging down the side and the side pockets, and that's probably how you're wearing it. So both of
Like,
them,
no.
they belong together, and they belong
No.
not on anybody.
See, we agree on stuff.
Yeah, except for that high pitched voice that you just had. So yeah, so I think we stand straight on the on the
Sandals.
sandal topic. I think a good flip flop, like I have a black pair, I have a brown pair, and again to wear with different styles and different outfits. Also those the slippers that have like sort of that one over cover. I have like a nice leather pair of that. Again with certain outfits it can work.
Yeah.
But definitely don't own
No
any sandals,
sandals.
and I will never own any sandals. And if you do, please email us, call us, hit our Instagram up. Let us know why you have them and how you're planning on wearing them. It's Instagram at Elevated Grapes. We will definitely give you our honest feedback, and we won't share with anybody. We'll just talk to you one on one. We probably will have a bit more of a topic about your personality and your lifestyle as well, because it's probably something that has to be discussed there. I know I'm being mean.
We should actually have like a panel discussion about this.
Nav, do you own any sandals? Like the ones with the
With the strappy thingies.
like not flip flops. See, Nav, who's our camera guy, just said, and you probably couldn't hear him. He said that's old man fashion. It's like the old man drink I'm drinking right now, the old man's whiskey, but that's old man fashion. Thank you, Nav, for confirming that. So yeah, what other shoes do you recommend during the summer?
I'm a huge fan of the boat shoes. I think
Love them.
they're simple, they're easy to get in and out of. They have so many colors, styles, it's classic, and you can rock them with almost anything you're wearing. Even if you do decide to do a pair of jeans, like depending on the weather, and you just like roll them up a little bit, and you wear boat shoes and like a nice simple T-shirt or like a clean tee, for example. Oh, so handsome,
Yeah, I do agree with the boat
right?
shoe. It works with so many different styles. The button down, the
Yeah,
cotton T-shirt, and that too. You can, if you're rocking like a little bit of a shorter short or knee length short, like that's properly fitted to your body style, it works. And that
guys.
works for, and this is regardless of body style, because the
Yeah,
boat shoe will work for any
for
body style.
anybody.
But please, I'm begging
Or
you.
Vans. Sorry, Vans.
Wait, we're gonna get to the Vans in one second, but please wear the no-show socks that we talked about in our last
Sockets.
episode. The sockets. You can see that on
Previous
our
post.
previous post. There's a lot of places you can get really good sockets, but please get the sockets and don't wear your boat shoes with ankle socks or knee. Well, you know what's really interesting? Not necessarily the boat shoe, but there's a lot of guys that can actually rock
The full, like
the
the
full
yeah.
calf sock with a pair of shorts. I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't look good on me.
I've
I won't wear it.
I've seen it. I've seen it on a lot of men who are ridiculously like looking and they style well and all that stuff. But I'm still not a fan of it. I don't know why. It's like I see the whole thing and I'm like, yes, 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 and then I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It works. Like I've seen it. Like it's sort of that mid range height guy, like who's sort of between 5'8" and 5'11" ish, maybe close to 6. You'll
Mm.
kind of see it on them. But it's also because of the way, like, they'll wear the gym short or like the more cottony casual short, and it's the way, also the way it sits on them, right? That they're able to make it work. Like for me, because if I wear a gym short or a cottony kind of short, for me it sits a little bit baggier, just again because my body type. So if I were to wear a knee high sock, like, you're only going to see
Mhm.
just my kneecap at the
Mhm.
most, and it doesn't look good on me. So if you have that length in your leg, I think that's where it could potentially work.
And you know what? Again, guys, like not being mean, but keep in mind, just like how you guys want to see well-dressed women in the summer and you want them to carry themselves well, women feel the exact same way about guys,
Absolutely.
right? We want to be surrounded by well-dressed men. It's not necessarily your face, like your look in that sense. Like I'm not being shallow, but
But
I'm
the beard balm from the Vedas help that, as well as the beard oil from the Vedas
but I'm
help
just
that.
saying, your personality, being confident, just being yourself and dressing well, like that's all we women are like looking for.
Absolutely.
It's not
Absolutely.
hard.
Yeah, and if you're wearing those big socks,
Then
if you
do
want to
not
wear them,
call
that's
me.
fine. Don't wear those sandals with them either.
Don't call me. Period.
Well, yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
can call Rashi.
Like
She
no,
may-
no, no. Don't-
She'll help you with the styling, but
styling, yes.
yeah.
Uh,
But if you're calling her for anything else, she probably might won't answer.
No.
Sometimes she doesn't answer my call, so I'm just saying. And we work together, so I don't understand why you're not answering my call. So you were talking about Vans.
I love Vans personally.
Yes, you do. You love
And
Vans and Converse. You're
That's-
again, not to brand, but it's just because it's the style of shoe also.
A friend of mine years back got me into Converses, and I will always be grateful for that. And since then, I do have a few pairs, and I always see pairs, and I'm like, I want, and then he's like, no, no.
Well, because you picked the most obscure sequenced based Converse that's out there, and they're like $7,000.
Yeah, but that's my style, and
No,
I
of
love
course, yeah.
it.
So go get it.
Like soon. We
Yeah,
will.
that's fine.
Yeah.
And then you can eat mac and cheese for us. That's fine.
But I think guys do end up rocking those really well, and that
I agree.
also works for the summer too. I mean, not necessarily every guy wants to be in flip flops and boat shoes, but if you don't like those and you want a more classic option, you have to have, like, as a guy, you have to have a pair of Converses. If you don't have one, please go buy one. Send me a DM. You will thank me for the rest of your life. Same thing goes for Vans. And Vans are actually a lot more funky. They're a lot more comfortable and they're a lot more versatile to like play with.
So I'm gonna throw a little curveball into this conversation. I don't own a pair of Converse or Vans.
Which is why you and I are still not the best of friends, and we still wonder why are we friends.
So, but I own a whole, and there's a reason, and I'm gonna touch on that reason right now. there's a whole bunch. I own a whole lot of toms, which to me, to a degree, serve a similar purpose. And I just, for me, like the way they flow with my dress style more than
Right.
than again. Not that that style doesn't work; they work really well. But for me, the flow of the tom shoe, again, I know we're touching on brands a little bit, but they're the ones who make that style. Um, for me, flows better with my dress style, and my outfits.
Again, keep in mind, till you and I did not start working with each other, you never really wore an oversized sequence jacket and you rocked it. So that's all. I'm going to make my case in point for you to try a pair of Converses or Vans, and we'll have this discussion again.
Women, no matter what sort of relationship, whether you're a friend, whether you work with them, whether you're with them, whatever it is, they will always do their best to change you.
I'm not changing
And
this
that
person, by the way.
is what you just witnessed right there, ladies and gentlemen. She's trying to change my
I
dress
am
sense.
not changing as your stylist occasionally and as someone who manages you. Manages you.
I'm a lot to manage.
Yes, you are. I'm just pointing out you trusted me
I did.
to take a risk with your look for a red carpet event.
Nav, do you own Vans?
Why are we bringing Van
Converse?
in this? Woohoo! Woohoo! See, there you go. That's okay.
What did he just say?
He does not wear them as much, but he owns them.
I'm gonna point out
That was
me
very
and
loud of
Nav
me,
are
by the way.
Usually on the same page because I think Nav has some fun dress sense, and I appreciate the fact that
Okay.
he agrees with me.
Again, I have nothing against you for the fact that you do not own a pair of Converses.
I think what we should do for one of our BTS videos is we're gonna send Nav out on the street and we're gonna get him to interview people about Vans and Converse and see what they say. And
All I'm
and me
saying-
and you are gonna video record instead of him.
All I'm saying is that you trusted me with a funky outfit for your red carpet event.
It worked.
And for both events, you did agree to wear sequences. And you, when I first told you, you thought I was crazy, but you also
No,
got,
I still think you're crazy.
but you got the most compliments and head
I did.
turns.
I did.
So-
I will own that.
So I'm
worked.
not I'm not changing this person because I think he's awesome the way he is. I'm just adding the Rashi touch in your life, which is try a pair of Converses or Vans.
So are we
That's
gonna
it.
just because sorry, I don't mean to cut out because I enjoy this conversation, but we're running a little bit short on
Yes,
time.
we
We're
are.
actually overboard a little bit, but
We should.
do you want to touch on the t-shirts or do you want to leave that for another conversation?
I think we're gonna actually have to leave that for another
Okay.
conversation because that is another discussion.
Yeah, please don't break the equipment. So again, for those that joined us, a lot of people were in and out from the live recording. So thank you for joining us. If you are listening on any one of the streaming sites after this has been recorded or watching on YouTube, thank you for sticking with us till the end of this video. And also, if anything that we referenced in there, you want to check it out, it's all on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/elevatedgrapes. Our Instagram page is also at Elevated Grapes. You can follow our stories there, some of our behind-the-scenes stuff, and some of the quirky stuff we do and the events we attend. But other than that, again, thank you for joining us for our
Thank you
second
very
episode.
much. Yeah.
Any closing remarks?
No, thank you so much for joining us. And
Nav?
follow us. Yeah.
Nav's gonna walk home in his sandals. I'm joking. He doesn't know. No. Old man fashion. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next time. And we have some other cool surprises coming up, which we will announce at our next podcast.
So keep following us, like really. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. I promise. Okay, bye.
No, like